I'm all for renewable energy, as long as my tax dollars don't have to subsidize it to make it work. You know, I don't know about you folks, my car doesn't run on sunshine or algae. And it's an unrealistic proposition to say that we're going to completely take ourselves off of fossil fuel in this country when we have the largest reserves of fossil fuels in the world directly underneath us. You know, I was fortunate enough during the Deepwater Horizon spill to get to clean that oil spill up. That's what my company does. We put a large aircraft out over the spill site. We're actually applying the chemical to clean up the crude. Our president placed a deep water drilling moratorium on what was going on in the Gulf of Mexico, and 11 platforms off the Gulf and have never come back. And they're producing today at foreign water and selling back to this country at a premium. Subsidies for big oil. I mean, look what happened to Chandler. Look what's happened to the solar market in this country. We talk about failed subsidies. You know, I wish everything could work off wind and solar. Someday maybe we'll be there. I think David said 100 years from now we won't be using what we're using today, most likely. We have hundreds of years of crude to tap into. Let's use what we have now and stop breaking the back of the American people and actually rely on realistic, achievable solutions when it comes to solving our energy problems.
Once again, Travis is right. This is why we're broke. We're broke. And we're broke because we have a mentality that let's take your money and let's let Washington, D.C. go pick winners and losers. And it doesn't work. You look at Chandler. We gave them $500 million of your money. Where's Chandler? Who knows? In Silicon Valley. Where's the most venture capitalists in the entire country, maybe the world at? Silicon Valley. If Chandler was a good deal, they would have put up their private dollars. It was good money chasing bad. Everyone knew it. No one would touch it but Barack Obama. And he took $500 million of your money and wasted it on that. You've got to be careful who we send to Washington, D.C., because they're going to take your money and they're going to keep spending it on projects that don't work. That's why we're broke. Yeah. We have the spill in the Gulf that they were out cleaning up. The reason that was so hard to clean up, it was deep water drilling. Because the activists have moved all the drilling into deep water. Shallow water drilling is not dangerous. It's easy to fix if there's a problem. But we don't do it. Fracking, you know where that came from? Did that come from government money? No, private money. Do you know where the best ideas are coming out for hydrogen cars, for electric batteries? Private money. Let the free enterprise system work. It always has. And when people that are at Stanford University that are very bright and they come up with an idea like Google, they get private money. And if they come up with an idea for a hydrogen car or an electric car, they'll get private money. We don't want the government taking our money. We're entitled to the fruits of our labor. We spend it better than they do. Yep. I'm sorry, I get a little passionate about this.
You can 5 of my seconds.
What's that?
You can 5 of my seconds.
What? I'm sure already that if Mr. Thompson wins, his chief of staff is sitting right beside him. maybe vice versa.
He's my spokesperson. You know what? I think it was Andre who said that it's all about leadership, and he's 100% right. We had a former vice president who came up with something that's called carbon credits. And I think he created the internet, too, if I remember correctly. With the carbon credits, you know, he was the biggest user of energy in the state of Tennessee, but it was the way to get around it, if you would. We have a president today who does not want to drill. We have a president today who would rather bow to a Saudi king. We have the greatest reserves in the world, and we will not drill. It costs $180,000 an hour to fly on Air Force One. $180,000. And we have a president today who could create jobs, who could rid ourselves of dependency on the Middle East, but he won't do it. Why? I don't know the answer. But I can guarantee you one thing, when I get to Congress, we will find out. And hopefully he will not be there to find out. Look, we have so many alternatives, as we've heard right now. Solar, why not? Nuclear. No one's, I think my friends over here are afraid to say nuclear, but nuclear is a very safe thing to do. We must have all options on the table. We must be able to do anything to rid ourselves of foreign dependency. And if we do that, we can create jobs, we can rid ourselves of, foreign dependency, and that's one of the things that I will do when I get to Congress.
National security is absolutely at stake because of our energy policy. When we depend on other countries for energy, we subsidize them for energy, we are sacrificing national security. I worked as an operational division chief at 3 different divisions at headquarters U.S. Air Forces Europe. Over an 8-year span, saw the change from before the Cold War was over until we had normalization of relations with the USSR and Eastern Europe. And it's as though we are 2 ships passing in the night. There are so many former East Bloc countries now who in some ways are freer than we are in how they determine their national security and their energy policy. On the domestic front, solar is great, but it's not the panacea. I have 60 solar panels on my office building just up the road here at Rural and Southern, but guess what? It only shoulders a third of the electric load. It covers almost the entire roof of my office complex and only covers that. So it's all well and good, but it's not the panacea. Why can't we have the full implementation of the Keystone Pipeline? It's because our government right now is run by a president who is beholden to unions. And no one wants to talk about that, but it's the truth. And furthermore, I am completely against any kind of taxes on carbon that suppresses ingenuity, that suppresses small business like me. We have natural reserves, and President Obama was touting how our diggings for these reserves have risen since he's been in office. It's been in spite of government policy, not because of government policy. Thank you.
I think I need you to restate the question. Before I say, Chief,
I'm starting on question 4, so we can come back. Regarding energy policy, going forward, should the focus be on more traditional sources, whether it's coal or nuclear, or it should be on newer alternative sources when?
it's got to be both. Right now, fossil fuel, I don't know if we have the largest reserves in the world. I don't know. We probably have enough for the next 100 years. Alternative energy is additive. Some folks have got some experience with solar voltaic panels. I've got a large client that's delving deeply into that. That's just part of the solution. It's not going to take up what we already need right now in terms of fossil fuel or coal. Right now, with the Keystone XL pipeline, I don't want to call it shovel ready, but I guess I just did. That's a project that produces jobs right now. Okay, so if we want to lessen our dependence on oil from the Middle East, that's not a bad way to start. Irrespective of that one project, guess what? If we start looking at the free market, the private sector, to create jobs, in the case of energy, through exploration, pretty big investment there. And once they start production, there's more jobs, bigger investment there. We need 2 things. We take in a lot of jobs in the energy industry, which is important to us. They pay pretty well, actually better than solar. And you lessen your dependence on Middle Eastern oil. So, you've got a solution. It's just not one size fits all. We need to continue to look at the LG type products. In fact, as a Sky Song this morning, what's stepping up? Being with the Arizona Technology Incubator went there. It's a great new product. Guess what? It won't be in the market for a lot of years. Solar is the same thing. The solar voltaic cells are getting better by the year. Okay, who knows when that's going to stop? Again, it's getting better, but it's not there. It's still about a third of the cost of what you pay for electricity. APS, SOP, they got solar farms, megawatts. We've got a big Spanish company somewhere around Gila Bend, they're investing billions. Okay, it's additive. We need a solution that has everything on the table, but I would say primarily right now, the fossil fuel, we shouldn't abandon that. We create jobs, we reduce the tax burden and regulatory environment, we lessen our dependence on Middle Eastern oil.
Here's some, you'll start us off here.